The bottom left in the red. He is the Terran, looking better and better over the last month or so. More than that, maybe. He's Gumiho. And in the upper right, in the blue, the greatest Terran to ever walk the earth, Maru. And of course, as we get in here, if you want more StarCraft content, if you want to get a VOD, if you want to watch a series just about every day of the week, well, I upload VODs most days. Sometimes I'm dumb and I don't hit the record button when I should, and then it all gets messed up. But in general, one StarCraft VOD every single day of the week, and a Stormgate news and analysis if that's what you're looking for as well. So if you want that, you should hit the sub button down below. You should like this video, and also you should tell me whether anyone can take down Maru's TVT. We don't know what's going to happen here, and you should say something before the game and then figure out if you're going to be right or not. And that's always going to be fun. But for now, this is game number 1, and Gumiho has pretty much since the balance change, since the pre-Katowice patch that meant Ravens were not quite as dominant in the late game, Gumiho has really gone. And it feels like he's found his form in TVT in particular. The balance change, as it were. By the way, Maru going for double Rax Reaper. Gumiho going for Reaper Expand type of idea. Or excuse me, no, not Reaper Expand, Gas First. A Gas First build out of Gumiho. The interesting thing about this, all right, is that because the Ravens are less dominant in the matchup, they're certainly not as good late game. You can get more of them early, and that's fine. But because it's just kind of the foci have changed a little bit, a lot of builds have suddenly become a little bit more viable. And part of it is the maps, of course. But I'm a little worried about this pressure from Maru right now. Okay, we're good. There's a Hellion out. I was gonna say there's one Marine on the map right now, and with their double Reaper and the SCV, that's gonna be a lot. So for now, the Hellion takes a little bit of damage, but it's gonna be SCV for SCV at this point. Reaper has to retreat though. Gumiho takes the negative trade, and it's gonna be 3 Reapers on the other side very quickly. But also, Gumiho's got a second Reaper, and he's gonna have that second Hellion. He is more than fine. His KDA charge actually does the opposite thing. Actually allows the Reapers to engage in a way that Maru would normally not have been able to do so. Bounced forward. But should be okay now. And actually now the Hellions are going to chase a little bit, trying to get on top. Pull one back, pull the low one. At the end of the day, nothing really dies. This Reaper, though, seems like... okay, no. It will be allowed to escape. So where do we go into our mid game now? And that's a really important question, because we got into it in 2 different ways. At the end of the day, though, Maru up a worker. At the end of the day, Maru, his orbital is actually going to be done a little bit faster here, because while Gumiho, I think he started his base just a little bit faster, not by a ton, just a little bit. This wasn't a Reaper Expand. This was a Gas First, so you are a little bit less greedy than you might otherwise be, even with that kind of single gas idea, even with taking the command center on the low ground as you were. So we're more than anything, we're just kind of even. The big deal, of course, is that Gumiho has a lot of army that Maru just doesn't. He didn't commit to it as much. So these Hellions may serve as some backbone of pressure that Gumiho may look to hit with, because with the Raven and the Reapers and the Hellions, I mean, that's a lot of power. But there's a Cyclone out. There's a bunker on the low ground here, so I don't really think it's going to do all that much. It doesn't really seem likely. I mean, maybe the Raven pressure, fine, but not much more than that. We're going to have to see, though, because Gumiho is out on the map here with his Hellions, with his Ravens, with his Raven, with his Reapers, all these wonderful things. And actually, the Raven, did it see the command center? It did. I'm very surprised we didn't see an auto turret get dropped there just to deny the base, just to delay that thing from happening. And, well, we didn't see that as the Reaper drives in. Single Reaper here from Maru, but it gets an SCV, and that is very, very nice. It might even be... no. This should be... No, there's no way it gets out. Absolutely not. Not happening. The Reaper, there we go. Finally dead. But it does seem like Gumiho has a little bit more aggression on the mind than just your standard, base level XYZ. I got a couple units on the map. There are no ebays for Gumiho. There is no stim. Maru's stim is done, by the way, 6 minutes in. In fact, Gumiho's, well, he's got his third base on the way now, but it's very much delayed. This is a heavy pressure coming out of Gumiho, taking the third base behind it. Tanks, Ravens, Vikings, Hellions, all the manner of kitchen sink stuff, and Gumiho just wants to end the game right now. So what does Maru have? He's got a single tank to 3. He's got 3 Reapers that may deny, actually, yeah, they will be able to delay this third base for a time if that's what they choose to do. But these 3 tanks here, they're going to knock the bunker down very, very quickly. Now the Reapers, they don't even bother. They don't even try to delay the third base. They're just going to go on the main, trying to kill as much economy as possible here. But that is just going to be a problem because here comes the pressure from Gumiho right now. And the disable on the tank and the Cyclone, massive. So the natural, it's just gone. You can't defend it anymore here. And it seems like the Reapers, for the most part, they're done. They're dusted. And these 14 Marines and 2 medevacs across the map, they're going to get scouted out very quickly. So the tank sieges on up, and it will be, yeah, just cancel third base. Okay. Third base gets canceled for Gumiho, so maybe a little bit more all in than he otherwise would have been. But now combat shields gets denied. More Vikings on the way here. And Maru's supply blocked. Can't build anything anymore. And the noose continues to tighten. But even still, you don't know. This is bad. Gumiho doesn't get to mine. Maru only has 1 base, doesn't get to produce. Gumiho doesn't get to mine. It's kind of a bit of an awkward scenario. Even still, though, at least Gumiho's mining out of his main base. And that is something. And now the tanks continue to get shut down here. And I would have expected to see a wholesale move forward. But it seems like, well, that was actually a very slow Liberator siege. But at the end of the day, it seems like this tank will go down. There we go. No saving it. And the production now under a heavy, heavy threat here. The main base not going to be allowed to mine here as well. More tanks are going to get shut down. Auto turret gets the first one, and the second one just not allowed to fire. Interference matrix more than enough. And now the Marines, the Hellions even, they're going to kill it on the high ground here. I have no idea how Maru's supposed to break out of this at all. It feels like there's no way. Not with that. Not with the tanks. Not with the Liberators. And in fact, his army went home. He's going to try to carpet bomb on top of this. That's going to have to be the answer here. But Marines, Hellions, everything else, the tanks, they're fighting very well. And the Marines of Maru, they're actually just not killing enough. Not at all. 2 Marines remain, and that it's going to have to do, I guess actually it will. It will break things out for now. But now Maru, so much damage that he's taken. And these Liberators, they deny so much mining, so much tempo, so much opportunity. And more Vikings. They arrive on the other side. No Marines available. So, yeah, there are 4 Marines for Maru at this point. This natural, by the way, it may just die to the Vikings. It may just die to the Vikings here. Marines, they stim on top. Mules are going to have to repair this thing. But Maru doesn't have money. He actually doesn't. He barely has money for the repair here. He can't afford anything else. And now, well, Vikings continue to arrive. Medevacs falling down. SCVs being pulled across the map. Maru, Hail Mary, last-ditch play. Well, maybe, but no, he's going to... I guess we're going to go back to the main. Now Vikings land. Long-distance mining attempt. Maru broke as a joke here. And Gumiho is just playing him at every turn. There's nothing that Maru can do at this point. Vikings lift on up. He's going to beat the Vikings of Maru down into a pulp. And the Marines, yeah, they're going to get on top. That's something. Ravens drop the auto turrets, but Maru's just dead. Game 1 goes the way of Gumiho. And the bottom right, in the red, he's up a game here in this series. Just masterful pushing play. Gumiho. And the upper left, in the blue, he's down 1. The king of TVT. It's Maru. About to say, seems like we're seeing a couple gas first openers coming out of both players, but Gumiho, I mean, technically, yeah. Technically, that was a fast gas, but that's just because he's proxying on the map. He's going to have that Reaper underway very quickly, and this is just a single Rax proxy Reaper, by the way. This is nothing more than that. But But this can just cause a little bit of consternation if you're Maru, and certainly if you're a Maru that has shown your aggressive 2-racks play and really found it lacking, at least in that last game. Granted, a lot of it was based on builds. Okay, fine. Even still, though, Maru went for that aggression, didn't really find much value out of it, but he does scout with the SCV. And that does mean that Maru is, for the time being, he's going to know what's happening. He sees the factory in the wall, and that is probably the biggest tell that there ever was to tell. So he drops this fact. Yeah. Oh. That was a factory on the way, right? Yeah, Maru changed. Interesting. Maru changes his mind. He had a factory on the way blocking the Reaper Cliff, but instead he goes back, gets a command center quickly here, trying to just punish the aggression, I guess, out of Gumiho with more greed, but this feels weird. I guess it's going to be okay because this is only single racks, not double, and I guess Maru, yeah, okay. I'm assuming Maru scouted that based off the gas counts in the geysers. And what a brilliant call. Kind of on this understanding that, yeah, the first Reaper's going to show up and it's going to be annoying, but you're going to be able to produce at a similar rate and you have high ground, so might as well just get your natural very quickly. That's a brilliant move from Maru. And now his command center is going to be miles ahead of what Gumiho is going for. He gets away with it very easily. Fantastic place. But it seems like Gumiho wants to do you one better. And this is a proxy starport. There is more where that came from. Question, though, is whether this is going to be for a Liberator. And I got some deja vu saying that it's probably going to be a Liberator, but I don't truly know. That being said, Magfield Cyclones, this is absolutely... Yeah, this is going to be a Liberator coming out of the Proxy Stargate. And then we're going to see pressure coming out of Gumiho. And behind that, I'm going to assume mech, just because Gumiho is, of course, a master of mech here. He actually wins the Reaper War as well, so that's going to be pretty nice. Although, Widowmine, don't want to kite into that one. That's a dead Reaper. Say goodbye. Say your prayers, but now there's going to be a lock on a couple more Reapers here. This is a dead Widowmine as well, and vision on the high ground from the factory or from the barracks is useful. But even still, Gumiho can't really get that. Can't really get quite that antsy. The Cyclone gets a lock on a supply depot, and that's fairly nice. And even, out of range of Marines, so there really is no stopping this supply depot from going down. Marines can be, annoying and try to go and kill the barracks, but it's not going to happen. So now, first Liberator out on the map from Maru or from Gumiho. Magfield, 2/3 of the way done, 3/4 of the way done here. Second factory on the way. You add those Cyclones as well. So Gumiho's getting ready for a really powerful bit of pressure here where he hits with a bunch of Cyclones and Liberators. And for now, the Marines are in the natural, so Cyclone will siege up the main base here. And actually, that's an awkward spot. The Marines do not have a good angle on that. So they're going to have to run around things. They don't have the range. So now lock on there on the tank. Magfield done in 4 seconds, though. Bit of an awkward timing. And the tank does not go down. Only one Cyclone locked on anyways. And this Liberator is actually untouchable by the Marines. There's just not enough of them. Oh, that's unfortunate. As workers continue to follow this Liberator. 2 kills to his name. Now, the barracks should fall eventually. That'll be the final victim, or the first victim of Maru's defense. But at this point, you're fine with that. Eventually, you probably get another because you want more barracks. But for now, or because you want more factories, excuse me. But for now, you're... Oh, he dropped a mule. Okay, he dropped a mule to repair it. Never mind. That's beautiful. I love you, Gumiho. That is fantastic there. So now Liberator sieges up. Marines a little bit faster on the trade, but they're just enough Marines at this point that this Liberator will get forced down. But even still, solid trade, denies mining, kills Marines. But finally, there's a Viking out. Finally. This is going to be worth something. So now Gumiho's got his third base on the way. Starport. Second Starport, actually. Ooh. Second Starport done. It's not these Cyclones. You gotta run away. Is this actually going to be for 2 Starport play, or did Gumiho forget he had a Starport because he proxied the first? Like, this is interesting. Of course, Maru scans it out, realizes that, if he didn't know already, but realizes that this is mech. So he kind of knows what he's looking at, drops an extra command center very quickly, but Gumiho, from the pressure he's put on the map here, he's got a third base. Already, it's done, it's on location, he's turning in, actually, it's in orbital as well. So Gumiho's going to be able to get his barracks back. Not going to lose that to the Viking or whatever else. He's got one starport almost returned. He's got a second starport ready to go. So seems like he might just go for just heavy Viking play, like Viking tank type of an idea. Dominate air control. And go from there, because now the second starport's done. Adding a reactor on top of it. So yeah, just 4 Vikings at a time. Next, I guess this is, if you want to think about it, this is just kind of the next level version of the of Specials mech all in, of Specials 2 starport all in, where he gets 4 Vikings at a time, he rallies stuff out of single factory and just runs across. Well, Gumiho's doing this later, and he's got a third base, so he's going to be on 6 gas, not 4, and that means you can afford 2 factories and 2 starports. As these Cyclones get very low, 1 will fall, and that's kind of the one issue with this this build that Gumiho's gone for, if you want to call it that, and that is, well, the Cyclones haven't done much. Everything else is going like gangbusters, but the Cyclones, it didn't find much value. They didn't even get it. I think they wanted to snipe that one tank. They didn't find it. Not at all. Ooh, okay, 3rd starport. Fusion core on the way, 8 minutes in. This is early from Gumiho. This is super cool. I don't know what we're gonna see. This is gonna be exciting to watch. So for now, fusion core is on the way. You know, the easy response is, okay, you know what? This is Gumiho building himself. Eventually, you know, you would expect some pretty solid air superiority, and then you go into Liberator range. But there are no Vikings on the way. He does not. Okay, there we go. Now he's adding Vikings on top. But he doesn't have the air lead right now. And with only 3 Vikings getting made, Gumiho also edging in being supply blocked. So that's a bit unfortunate if you're a Gumiho fan. He has this idea. Okay, I'm building up to it, but, you know, we got there. I was going to say, you know, maybe Vikings into just mass range Liberators seems like an interesting idea, but no. Gumiho's got to skip that phase. No Ravens, no Liberators, just battle cruisers. Yamato's on the way. And in doing so, do we have armories? We got 1. No upgrades coming out of it yet. But I would just get +1. You had a second armor, go 1-1 air, get these 3-3 battle cruisers as quick as possible. That's a pretty solid solution. But Maru, by the way, on the scan, saw the number of starports in the main base, and is, of course, and saw the tech labs actually as well. So he doesn't know quite. No, actually, did he see the fusion core? Oh, no. That's the wrong button. We went backwards in time. But yes, Maru did see the fusion core. So apologies. We went 15 seconds back in time. We get to enjoy things all over again, but that's fine. As now +1 armor is on the way for these battlecruisers. Second armor getting made as well, which is absolutely what we wanted to see. And now the question is, how do you deal with this if you're Maru? And also, what's the timing that Gumiho looks for? Is it 3 battlecruisers? Is it 6? Like, when are you happy to exist on the map? When are you happy to just really start to kind of exert your presence? Because, you know, for the last 10 minutes, Gumiho has been very passive. Yeah, he opened up with a bit of aggression and certainly follow-up as well, but that's minimal aggression, right? That's defensive aggression is, I guess, the best way to say that. It's all about keeping Maru back so you can get yourself where you want to be as a mech player. For now, we're looking at 7 Vikings to 16 from Maru here. So Maru had the read. He knew roughly what Gumiho was going for, so he just built himself this massive air fleet. And that actually is a problem because, well, battlecruisers are massive units. Vikings do bonus damage to massive. Vikings actually fight battlecruisers very well unless the battlecruisers just teleport on top of them, especially if they're heavily upgraded. So, and you kind of want 6, 9 battlecruisers, something like that, to make that happen. So for now, both players taking the rich gas base, forward base there. Gumiho right side. So Base count, very similar. Gumiho getting close enough to max out. With Blue Flame, he's going to be able to get some damage. Able to get some damage on things. So the Battlecruiser on the left side here. +1 plating, just about done. Well, yeah, +1 vehicle plating, just about done. It goes for the drive-by. But you're going to have to teleport out immediately here. There we go, yeah. This is scary. Yes, I stand corrected. I could have sworn Vikings did bonus damage to Massive, but that's Corruptors and that's Thors. So, for now, Gumiho's got a decent position on the left side here against the solid siege. But of course, there are plenty of Ravens, so these tanks aren't the most useful. Lock on there is going to kill a tank very quickly. Now, tanks are going to get shut down, but most of them, actually all three of them, they're going to be able to go and just unsiege or run away, fight again another day. And Gumiho's going to have to content himself with the power, with the pressure that he just found. And now, this is where things get interesting, right? This is where this really starts to turn into a chess match. Both Maru and Gumiho are maxed out, or is near enough to maxed out as it really truly matters. So that's a solid siege up. It's going to be dead missile turrets, dead sensor towers, dead supply depots. Maru will siege up on the other side. He's going to siege up on the other side. He's going to get the one tank that was hitting him, and that's pretty nice. You know, keeps that alive. But as long as there are scans available, it's going to be a command center under threat. But now there are liberators, so you back up, you run away, you go again. And now 1-1 for the air fleet done on both sides. 2-2 on the way. Maru's also moving into his battlecruiser play. He's got Yamato cannon on the way, building armor done in 10 seconds. And Gumiho, by the way, is on 5 starports. 6 starports, actually, but he was building out of 5 of them at the moment. 10 Vikings on the way at a time. It's just is patently ridiculous. But that means that he has the biggest Viking lead that I've ever seen in my life. It's 37 Vikings to 21. And I don't care that there are 7 Ravens. That is a... I don't know that there's a way that... Oh, okay, no, there is a way that Maru fights that. You get anti-armor missiles, and then you hit him with the Liberator shots. As now Medivacs run in, and they're just trying to soak shots, really, in this fight. As now Ravens continue to fall down here, getting targeted. The Liberators, they don't get splash damage whatsoever. And yeah, you know, anti-armor missile's a beautiful thing, but look at this. 20... Well, actually, maybe that is going to be enough. After all, Liberators move forward here, and maybe that was enough. I did not believe, but it was. Yeah. That gets equalized in the extreme, but all the Ravens went down anyways, and the Battlecruisers in the main base here, they're getting SCVs, they're getting tanks, they're going to get a couple Vikings, and that should be the teleport out. So, Gumiho finding value. Teleport right back home is again Gumiho, despite his economy going like gangbusters, you know, 75 workers, Maru's is better, 86. And despite Gumiho having literally 6 starports, he's not able to build 12 Vikings at a time. Those are expensive. So he's going to have to go and wait a little bit. And now it's 30 Vikings to 16, 2 Battlecruisers to 0. Has the Battlecruiser died? No, okay, I could have sworn there were 3. In production at the very least, as these Cyclones with Magfield, they will at the very least get damage on this orbital or on this command center, start to burn, but no, there's enough defense there. So Maru's going to be able to hold on. And now the Viking lead, again, massively in Gumiho's favor. Is his 2-2 done in about 5 seconds. Mars is done. +3 armor on the way for Gumiho. And we should see a +3 attack on the way for him shortly thereafter, as he has the money for it, as he's ready for it. Battlecruisers, though, going to try to deny this base that, by the way, is burning. And Maru, he should have the money to repair, but really not a lot of units there. Battlecruiser falls just to the combined might of the Sky Fleet. And now 2 Battlecruisers just sitting on top of this base with +2 and the Cyclones. It's finally economic damage. That's a dead base. Battlecruisers, do they have teleport, though? They do. They get out. And that's going to be fine. Gumiho, though, he's forgetting his +3 attack. We talked about how he should be getting that started fairly soon. He's just missing it. He doesn't have it. And that is going to make a pretty significant difference in these air fights that are going to happen eventually. So 30 Vikings to 20, 2 Ravens to 1, 2 Battlecruisers to 3, even as Maru lost 1. But the Liberators there, those can also be very nice, and Maru's committing to a Thor. So it's interesting. It's a lot of single target damage coming on out of Gumiho. More Vikings, Battlecruisers, you know, that kind of thing. Ravens to just add a couple anti-armor missiles, maybe to soak some damage. Maru is relying on the fact that that Vikings clump pretty heavily. You get that flower power really nicely. And they're relying on this idea that Vikings clump. So you get a couple Liberators. You add a Thor or two. And that splash damage on everything coupled with an anti-armor missile can make a big difference. So it's going to be interesting to see whether that will matter. But as I say that, actually, Thor's in high impact payload mode. So it's just going to add a little bit of damage from the ground, I guess. Maybe kind of on this understanding that the Viking lead is so far in Gumiho's favor that it's going to be very difficult to ever match up with. But anyway, one random liberator on the map trying to find value, and did that die? Yeah, I think that died. Seems like it did. So Battlecruisers, though, on top of this planetary, but actually we're missing building armor. High-sec auto-tracking done in 10 seconds, but building armor not even done for Gumiho, not just yet. So these outlying bases are vulnerable for the time being in a way that Marus aren't quite as much as Battlecruisers. I mean, they got something, but forced to teleport out. But now Vikings may be a little bit vulnerable here, kicking off the fight. +3 done, but the big deal, of course, is there will be actually 3 upgrades effectively for Maru in this fight because, well, anti-armor missiles. And he's got +3 attack when his opponent does not here. But tanks unsiege, they kill the tank of Maru. Even still, though. Yamato goes down, gets tanks, gets missile turrets, and Gumiho is going to have to back up a little bit. Needs that 30 seconds until he's got +3 as well. And interesting. He's going into Battlecruisers as well. Well, we're going back into Battlecruisers. A couple more on the field. What a technical TVT we got here. And by the way, reminder, this is technically, notionally, this is mech versus bio. Now, Gumiho abandoned mech very quickly, and Maru abandoned bio very quickly. But even still, this is technically mech versus bio. And obviously, we're just Sky Terran versus Sky Terran at this point. The Battlecruisers are going to have to run. But it seems like they should be able to avoid the fight. But this might be really good for Gumiho. He can sit under SCVs as well, get the repair. Anti-armor missile going down 10 seconds until +3. But the Vikings, they just got to flee. They got to run here. Massive fight for Gumiho as well. And now, can he get more Battlecruisers on the north side? Kill Gumiho's base, all 5 of them. Missile turrets are here, but I mean, you got Yamato, right? These are +3. There's no building armor. So the Battlecruisers teleport right side. You're going to have to try to deal with this any way they can, but it's 5 Battlecruisers to 2. I think you have Yamato, though. And actually, that might kill 1 Battlecruiser. No, it's not. Gumiho just teleports into his doom. But he's going to build a couple more here. And the Vikings, now they're starting to arrive, but you teleport out. And that's more than enough. So Gumiho, lacking that big win that he had available, was taking one of Maru's bases. That's what you're looking for. But it was canceled by the Battlecruisers. And now, and instead Gumiho only as every base that he should have. We're on a split map scenario here. And this is when we need to start looking at resources lost. And that is... Like, what is that? 27 resources different. That's about as even as you will ever see it in this late game. That's pretty interesting. So everyone mining roughly similar amounts, or has access to roughly similar number of bases. Everyone losing just about the same amount of stuff. Is now Maru's gonna have to sacrifice some of his SCVs, but Gumiho will lose this base bottom side. The missile turret push is a powerful thing here. Is now tanks getting shut down, Thor as well. But oh man, these missile turrets, they are a bit painful, but that's why you get that's why you get whatever it's called. That one. You get transfer. That's why you get transformation servos. Just land, kill them all like that. Now, Gumiho will lose 2 bases, and we're not seeing the counterplay not just yet. These Battlecruisers of Maru are really starting to do good work here. The Vikings are just running around. Run. Actually, that's not even fair to say they're running, they're waddling. So Gumiho loses 2 bases on the bottom side. He takes the 12 o'clock base, though, and then that is something, as now he's tanks on the ground. He's actually got a couple left. There's only 1 for Maru at this point, really 100% in the air. So Gumiho has the ability to kind of slow push a little bit more than Maru does, and I love what they're doing here. Every single push is like, yeah, I'm going to pull 5 SCVs. I got the money. We're going to build a bunch of missile turrets, and we're going to slow push with them. Because you need, like, air fights at this point are so dearly fought. It's 10 battlecruisers to 4. It's 39 Vikings to 29. You know, one player's got the Viking lead, one player's got the battlecruiser lead. But now battlecruisers teleporting on top of these missile turrets, and Yamato cannons go off as here. Vikings move forward, teleport out to make sure you stay alive. Anti-armament, actually, excuse me, shutdowns on some of the battlecruisers, and this might just be Gumiho's opportunity. Only half of his army in the red, half his army with the Dorito dust. So battlecruisers move forward here. One tank just his own things out, and the Viking lead. Oh, that's a beautiful anti-armor missile right there. And now Gumiho inside track, starting to get on top of this production a little bit. SCVs getting pulled, building a supply depot. Because why not? I don't know why the supply depot. You would think there'd be missile turrets, but he's building a supply depot outside of the natural, and this is where it gets problematic. He's starting to camp the production. The starports are now under heavy threat. You got to cancel the battlecruisers that are getting ready here. By the way, they will get gunned down instantaneously. But here comes the army. SCV's just mass repairing at this point. Mass disabled, anti-armor missiles on every single thing. And the fact that there's one Viking that has not been hit by anti-armor missile, like 3 Vikings actually not hit by anti-armor missile, may make the difference here. Gumiho is winning this fight. The mass repair as well is doing oh so very much. The battlecruisers, they're just meat shields, but they're dying so quickly. Maru loses his sky fleet, and he is camped. Those battlecruisers on the way, they're going to get jumped on very quickly here as Maru desperately tries to retreat back to the Aegis of his missile turrets, but it's not going to happen. Hellbats, Hellbats, tanks, everything else on the ground. Battlecruisers, they have to teleport away here, but the production is done. The production now totally camped. Vikings pop out and dying. And I think at this point, you just land the Vikings. There we go. Kill off the rest of it. Plus 3 Vikings, plus 1 on the ground. They are more than enough. And by the way, 10 of them on the way at a time here. Maru he's got to find an answer. He doesn't want to go down to the lower bracket, but I truly don't see a way anymore. This was a masterful game from Gumiho. This was so well played. Excellent patience. And now Maru, I mean, he's got a couple battlecruisers on the other side. 3 battlecruisers, 8 Vikings does not an army make. Not as the Vikings are going to chase this down. He doesn't have teleport. He used it to get over here. This is a dead Maru. Cyclones kill the rest. I don't know quite what Maru's seeing that makes him think that he has a spot in this game, but Gumiho and Solar in the winners match, which are, when I was looking at this group, I had Beyond Maru winners match. This is the polar opposite of how I expected things to go. But Maru, at this point, just kind of channeling his inner fantasy just a little bit. Making Gumiho prove that, you know, Gumiho can kill everything. He can, by the way. Gumiho can kill everything here. As he has rebuilt Fortress Terran on the bottom left side. He has so little of the map, though. And Vikings landing in the air on the ground. They're going to go in. They're going to kill everything. So it seems like we're going to have one last-ditch effort. One last-ditch fight from Maru, where he's going to have 15 Vikings against 43. He's going to have 6 battlecruisers versus none. Fair. But I think he's underestimating just how good Gumiho's production and economy is. It's kind of the play there. And in late games like this, it can be hard to kind of figure that out. You're like, well, you know, I've denied the north side base a couple times. I'm probably okay, all right? Like, I might have an opportunity here, but no. But here come the battlecruisers. They're thinking about it. They're going to try to get something. Yamato should kill 5 of these Vikings, but now that's a dead battlecruiser. And remember, Gumiho has this base, this base, this base, this base, this base. Oh, 12 mineral patches left on this one. And he can take this the 6 o'clock base if he ever wants to. So he's maxed out. Maru's got 150 supply, and now Gumiho's taking Maru's bases just for the hell of it. Now Gumiho's got a couple Battlecruisers out just for the harass here. So he's going to find the penultimate mining base of Maru, the kind of the most important one as well, because this one has not been mined out of all that much. So Vikings will arrive and to teleport out. One Battlecruiser falls, second one goes out there, but that's just because Maru is losing his Battlecruisers on the other side of the map. Popping Yamatos, but they don't live to fire. They're dead. It's a concave, and yeah, this really and truly, even as you fight under missile turrets, this is going to do it here. Maru is dead in this game. Gumiho has more than enough. 184 supplied to 100, to less than that now. And Maru is going to fight Byun. It's going to be Maru Byun in the loser's bracket in that lower side match. And Maru gets eliminated here. Not eliminated. Gets killed by Gumiho. And that means Gumiho is Solar in the winner's match.